What's up guys, Demon Eyes here. I'm sorry it took me a while to get around to making videos again guys. A few things happened in real life, which unfortunately can delay the process of getting videos made. Well, good news is that we're back with another video. This time we are covering the Summoner Pet Redoran. Let's go over the abilities, let's go see what they can do, and I'll show you guys the pet box. Alright, so let's hop right into this. Alright guys, first things first, before we go over the abilities, let's go over personality. The best personality for Redoran is Rambunctious, but do keep in mind, Very Rambunctious is going to be the better one if you're using him for farming and to get increased drops from bosses, because Very Rambunctious does the item drop rate increases. Rambunctious is what we're after though. Damage dealt increases with each enemy killed. So every time Redoran kills an enemy, or Redoran is out while a member of your party kills an enemy and you're near them, Redoran will get a small damage buff. In order to get the maximum damage buff, Redoran needs to kill 25 or be near 25 monsters that have died. That'll give him his ultimate buff for his personality. So keep in mind when we're doing this testing later that the damage numbers are not going to be true because the damage is going to be up a little bit. Alright, so the first ability we have is going to be the Redoran Laser. It targets enemies and unleashes homing lasers, can target multiple enemies at once. It does cost 25 PP, but while you hold this down, it'll target, I believe, up to 8 if I remember, or it could be up to 12. I can't remember off the top of my head, but hold down your ability and it will target multiple different enemies and send one homing laser after those enemies. Here's the thing to keep in mind. If your enemy has multiple points to lock onto, like say you're fighting a griffin, right, and it has its head, its two wings, its body, and its tail. If you position right, Redoran will lock on to all those different parts of that enemy, and all the lasers will go and do all the damage at once on each different part. Now, it's not going to be enough to break the parts right away because you're spreading your damage out to all the different parts, but it is one chunk of damage at one time, just not on one part, so it's not good for breaking parts. Next, you have the Redoran Slash. Approaches surrounding enemies, attacks, then returns to the player's side. So, Redoran's mostly going to float near you, but if he's stationary attacking while you're running around, you can call Redoran back by using this ability. Also, it does have a little moment of invulnerability frames, so you can use it to dodge attacks and keep Redoran alive, since he is kind of a squishy pet. Next is the Redoran Mine. It's going to throw this photon mine that's going to stick to your target. So you're going to need to use an ability like the Laser or the Gravity or the Burst in order to blow up the mine and cause a little bit of damage over time to happen. Next you have the Redoran Gravity, which is going to fire a photon projectile which forms a gravity well when it lands. Doesn't do any damage, but it does help to suck in smaller enemies and keep them in one small area. And then finally you have the Redoran Burst. This is going to generate a large number of energy bullets and then concentrates fire on a target. Charging will increase the number of attacks. This takes like 3 seconds to fully get charged up, which will fire 8 total orbs at one single target. Keep in mind, you do have to charge this up, and it is 40 PP. So, unless you charge this up, this ability is going to be useless, because 40 PP for firing 1 orb is not that good at all. Also, another thing to note, guys, is that you cannot charge up this ability until you're locked onto something. And if the target that you're locked onto happens to die while you're charging this up, it's not going to fire those orbs to another target. It's just going to be a wash. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop right into the abilities here, guys. First, we have the Laser, right? So you're not going to see the laser because there's nothing to target yet. But as you see, that's kind of what it looks like when you're trying to lock on to different stuff for the Laser. You have the Slash right here. Pretty self-explanatory right there. You have the Mine. Fires the mine out. You have the gravity well. Fires the gravity well out. And then you also have the homing missiles. But as you see, you don't see anything charging up because there's no target right now. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hop down into the training arena and let's show these abilities off on the Rock Bear. See you guys there. Alright guys, what's up? We're down here now in the training arena with the Rock Bear. So, there's one thing I want to note before we get started on doing the abilities on the Rock Bear, guys, is that with pets like Redoran and Popple, you actually can aim where your attacks go. So if you go into the first/third person targeting mode, as you see here, I can aim and fire this mine over there, and then I can fire the gravity well over there. So you can actually aim to different enemies with pets like Redoran and Popple that have ranged attacks. You can do it with the normal pets that have normal, physical attacks, non-ranged attacks, but, I mean, if they're already on the mob, there's no reason to have to aim unless you're going for a certain part that you can't lock onto. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop into this. Up first is the laser. As you see, if I hold down the ability, it targets 2 spots because Rock Bear has 2 spots to be targeted, and it does damage on both the parts. Now, see how when I go away, Redoran is still fighting the Rock Bear. So if you use the slash, let's get rough here again. So if I use the slash, as you guys see, since Redoran stays up there, use the slash, does damage, and calls Redoran back to me. Okay, so we're going to lock on. Next is the mine. Fire the mine. As you see, the mine is sticking on him, but no damage is being done yet until the mine gets to be exploded. So we're going to put one more mine on him, and now we will use the gravity swirl. And as you see, the gravity exploded the mine, and now he's taking damage over time. And then up next is going to be the Redoran Burst, or the homing laser. So this is what it looks like when you hold it. Now you see it's fully charged, you got 8 orbs there, and away they go. So 39k per orb, that's pretty decent damage for 40 PP cost. And it is single target. Like I said, that would be more damage if we could kill 25 monsters to have him have his maximum personality activated. Alright, let's go back up top and let's go over the pet box. Alright guys, we're at Redoran's pet box. As you see, my Redoran's pet box is not fully completed. That is because there's not enough support roles in the game yet. I would like to have 2 support roles in his pet box. That way I could increase his crit chance by 20, because the support roles will increase crit chance by 10 each when Pet Sympathy is effect. So those 2 spots down there at the bottom are for 2 extra support roles. Right now you can only get 2 of them in the game. One is from a title from getting a certain pet to level 80. The other is from maxing out your friendship with Pietro. You could create an alt, max out the friendship on an alt, get the support role, then delete that alt, wait 24 hours, make another alt, and do that process. It is a very long process, but if you guys want to get multiple different support roles, that is the way you would do it. In the meantime though guys, let me show you what candies and stuff I have in the pet box, and we will go from there. Alright, I'm just going to go from left to right, guys. So, first up, we got a toughness sandwich for increasing his melee defense. Redoran is one of the weakest defense pets that we have as a summoner, and also because he is level 70 as well, an 8-star. So I threw in a toughness sandwich there, a toughness sandwich right there to the right, and a toughness sandwich down here a genius sandwich down here in the middle to increase his technique against, increase his defense against techniques in case a ranged magic character decides to start attacking him. The reason why I put the sandwich right there in the middle too is, as you see, it made these 2x2 squares down here, which is going to be perfect for the support roles once I get them in there. We fill in this space here with a stamina gummy, just like we did here. A space here, stamina gummy, space here, stamina gummy, and down here a gummy. Again, we did that to give these 2x2 squares. Again, I did go crit with my synchro, so as you see here, I have a crit cane. This Spirit Cane is a placeholder for when I get another crit cane. You can only get 1 crit cane every 7 days unless you use AC Scratcher items to reset the timer. So it's a little bit lengthy of a process to go crit build right now because you get the crit canes from Pietro from his client orders. So, then of course you have the casting cookie, the casting cookie, and the casting cookie. Even though Redoran is a ranged pet, every single ability still scales off tech unless you're using Pet Switch Strike, which would make it switch or scale off melee. So if you are going melee summoner build with Pet Switch Strike, make sure these are might cookies. But because I am a tech build, they are casting cookies. Make sure you shrink them down so they take a 2x1 square, and then you have the casting cookies. Alright, and then last but not least, parfaits. So there's a couple different using your Redoran for. Okay, so if you're using your Redoran for bosses and stuff like that, you could go with the parfait that I'll show you here that I have on my synchro. So if you're going to use your Redoran for bosses, you could go with the Megatron parfait here, which is on my synchro. This is Synchro's pet box now that we switched to. You go with the Megatron parfait if you would like. I don't recommend the Megatron parfait on Redoran right now because you could only get 1 of them in the game. You get it from a title reward, so I don't want you to have to use SG to start plucking and plucking your parfait every time you change up. So for now, let me just show you what parfaits I believe you should use. Guys, so we're back to Redorant's pet box now, like I was saying. So we're not going to use the Megatron Parfait. So what we're going to use on Redorant right now, because the limits for parfaits and rolls are very, very small for the NA version of the game, we're going to use the Hyper Parfait, which deals more damage the closer the player and the pet are together. It works really well since Redorant is almost always by your side, so you get an extra damage boost doing that way. Also, side note guys, this Parfait also would work very well on Sally/Popple, since Sally/Popple is always by your side as well. Unfortunately, there is currently only one of these in the game as well, so you gotta pick and choose which one you want to put it on. Then we're going to do the Satisfying Parfait to increase damage to targets when the pet's HP is at 60 or higher. Since Redorant's always next to you, even if it's not asking Pet Sympathy for you to heal it, you could always throw a heal to make sure your Redorant stays above the 60% health threshold. Then again, down here is going to be 2 support rolls, and like I said, this Spirit Cane is going to be replaced with a Crit Cane when I'm able to get another Crit Cane. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching, I appreciate it. Make sure you are following the channel if you're not already, I do appreciate it. Down near the bottom, make sure you also give me a thumbs up and a like on the video. Leave me a comment below for any questions or concerns. You guys can always catch me live over at twitch.tv/demonize. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. I know it's still crazy right now in the world. I thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching, and I'll catch you next time. Until the next video, stay safe out there everyone.